I wanted to talk about the spoilers of Deadpool and Wolverine. Fair warning, again, this will be a spoiler filled review, so if you don't want any spoilers given away, please go watch my spoiler free review. Link in the description, or you can check it on my channel. But if you want to hear me talk about some of the spoilers of this movie, in my opinion, listen away. I'm going to start from the top of the movie, and it starts by saying it's not going to ruin Logan at all. This is a Wolverine from another universe. But we do dig up Logan's dead corpse and use his adamantium skeleton as a weapon in a pretty fun opening sequence, where Deadpool is killing TVA to the song Bye Bye Bye, which he killed the dance to. It was really funny. I found the opening sequence to be really entertaining. This reminded me very much of the opening of the first Deadpool movie, where we're thrown into a crazy situation in like the first quarter of the movie. Not even that, like the first fifth or sixth of the movie. Flash back to the very beginning of the movie and then go back to where we are. Deadpool uses the watch he stole from Cable to go to the MCU universe to try to be an Avenger. He meets with Happy Hogan, played by Jon Favreau, and this happens before the events of Infinity War. There's lots of MCU memorabilia like the Captain America shield from Iron Man 2, the proof that Tony Stark has a heart from Iron Man 1, the Iron Man helmet the kid had in Iron Man 2, just lots of little things, you know? And it's an alright little sequence. It's funny the first time, but the second time I watched it, it wasn't as funny. It's cool to see Jon Favreau back, I guess. Then we cut to present day, where Deadpool is working at a car dealership, which is pretty funny. He's wearing this really terrible toupee that he staples to his head. And he's having a birthday party, and all of his friends are there. His girlfriend has broke up with him. And the TVA show up, and we see a little bit of this in the trailer. And they bring him to HQ to have him join the sacred timeline. But in doing so, without realizing, he is joining and his universe is dying. Because apparently when Logan died, the universe that he lives in will slowly die as well, because he was the anchor being, apparently. I am not a fan of multiverse stuff. This just seems stupid and kind of silly. Just an excuse to do XYZ to push the plot, right? The plot of this movie is not great. It is the weakest of the three, story-wise, but they had to do something, I guess, to get all these characters that they wanted shoehorned in, so... And honestly, the cameos worked pretty well for me, at least. Deadpool embarks on a mission to find a Wolverine to replace the Logan that died in his universe. This is where we jump to when we get to the start of the movie after the Bye 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 dance montage. And we get another montage of him jumping through the multiverse, meeting different Wolverines. We have all different types and costumes. We have a comic-accurate height Wolverine, which honestly was shorter probably than 5'4". It was pretty funny. It would have been even funnier if his voice was high-pitched, but that would have given away the joke. We get Weapon Omega from the Age of Apocalypse. Looked really cool. We got the Eye Patch Wolverine. We got Old Man Logan. A visualization of Uncanny X-Men 251 with Wolverine crucified on the X-Cross. We also get Hulk vs. Wolverine with Wolverine in the brown costume, and he basically recreated the cover of Incredible Hulk 340. And my personal favorite, Henry Cavill as Wolverine working on his chopper, nicknamed Cavalrine. And Deadpool says, "We'll treat you so much better than those assholes down the street." Obviously referencing DC and how they screwed him over out of Superman. But this was an awesome cameo, and Henry Cavill looked awesome as Wolverine. Hugh Jackman did too in all these little spots, and he is still a phenomenal Wolverine, but this little cameo here was awesome. Then we finally stumble upon the Logan that will be with us the rest of the film, and apparently he is the worst Logan in all of the universes. He let his friends and family down with his alcoholic addiction and lack of caring for the team. They all died because he went on a drunken bender and came home too late. He has tremendous guilt for this loss, though, and carries this burden everywhere with him, wearing the blue and yellow X-Men outfit. Deadpool brings him back to try to negotiate with the TVA to keep his timeline alive so he can be with his friends, but the TVA don't care and send him to the Void. There are tons of little Easter eggs in the Void, and the Void is this place where everything that's unneeded in the multiverse goes to die, basically. There's a Secret Wars comic, a Thor helmet, 20th Century Fox logo, Secret Empire cap shield, and many more that I missed, but are also there as well, and some that I didn't list. We do get a pretty good fight between Deadpool and Wolverine in this scene, with them pulling out all the stops and going crazy on each other. And this is where we get our next cameo, Chris Evans, as the Human Torch. This was one that I was actually hoping for, and I thought they'd be really dumb not to do, and I was happy to see it. We also get the old Sabretooth from the X-Men movies, and him and Wolverine have a showdown, even though it's literally 2 seconds because Wolverine decapitates him. Torch, Deadpool, and Wolverine are taken to our villain, Cassandra Nova, Charles Xavier's twin sister, and honestly, I thought this was a pretty lame villain. She's so overpowered, she rips Johnny Storm's skin off in a second. By the way, the CGI for the sequence was horrendous. And she could have done that in any moment with any of our 2 heroes. And she handles them like nothing when they try to attack her eventually. They use the Juggernaut helmet to temporarily stop her, but instead of killing her, they let her go so they can get set free from the Void. And then she later comes back to use the multiverse-ending MacGuffin to try to end everything and make the Void the only place left. Pretty weak motivation overall, pretty weak character overall. They escape and wander around to meet Dogpool and Nicepool, which I didn't like too much. Dogpool was fine, but Nicepool, this is the part where I think could have been cut, all of his stuff with Nicepool. Later, he's used as a meat shield because he doesn't have regeneration factor like the other Deadpools. We get a really sweet fight in the Honda Odyssey that Nicepool lets them drop, which was the butt of jokes at a point. They fight for hours till they seemingly pass out, and X-23 picks them up and drives them to meet Elektra, played by Jennifer Garner, Blade, played by Wesley Snipes, and Gambit, played by Channing Tatum. There's a joke about Garner's divorce with Affleck. Blade mentions he's the only Blade later on after Deadpool asks which Punisher had the rocket launcher. And Gambit jokes about never really being able to exist in the movie universe because his movie was canceled. I was not expecting these 3 to be in it, and it was particularly cool to see Wesley Snipes back. They all team up to get into Cassandra's lair and get home. Each hero showcases themselves a bit, and after nearly dying and having her power stopped by the Juggernaut's helmet, Nova agrees to let Deadpool and Wolverine go home, with a sling ring dropped by seemingly a Doctor Strange that was sent there. They get back just as the Time Ripper MacGuffin machine is complete, and at the same time, Nova discovers Pyro was a double agent for Paradox, the TVA bad guy, and goes to the Time Ripper. She's going to use it to destroy all the multiverses, leaving only the Void. At that point, I was kind of rooting for her. Get rid of all the multiverses? Yes, please. She hires 100 plus Deadpools to distract Deadpool and Wolverine. We get Ladypool, played by Blake Lively, Headpool, Kidpool, Samurai Pool, Cowboy Pool. The list goes on. Wolverine finally dons his bad-ass helmet, and we get a cool side shot of him and Deadpool ripping through all the other Deadpools. It's so dumb we are just now getting this outfit and the helmet because it's just as cool as Batman. Imagine Batman without the bat cowl. They do joke that Wolverine has neck movement and Batman never did. I thought that was a good one. The Deadpools regenerate though, except Nicepool, thank goodness, and they are thwarted by Peter, aka Peter Pool from Deadpool 2. They all have a Peter apparently, so now they quit their job and let Deadpool and Wolverine go. Kinda stupid, but whatever. At this point, it's too late and Cassandra has already hooked up to the machine. So Deadpool or Wolverine have to go to the matter and antimatter chambers underneath and basically unplug them. The only caveat is that it will kill them, too. At first, Wolverine was going to make the sacrifice play. Then Deadpool switches with him, but Wolverine breaks in as Deadpool can't reach the other end. Then we get too much Madonna as they're both pulling on the cords to end the machine. The villain dies of overload and Deadpool and Wolverine both survive because reasons. The film is wrapped up nicely. Wolverine gets to be a hero again. He stays in Deadpool's universe. The universe is fixed and now has an anchor being again. And Deadpool gets his friends and girlfriend back. And the multiverse is fixed. Yay! I liked it a little more on the second viewing. Jokes still landed pretty well, and the pacing was a little smoother, to be honest. I still think it's 10 to 20 minutes too long, and the villain is really weak. Jackman and Reynolds killed it, especially Jackman. He is one of the reasons this movie is awesome. That pretty much wraps up my spoiler-filled review of Deadpool and Wolverine. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of the movie and what your favorite part was. My favorite part was probably the montage of all the Wolverines. Thanks again for listening. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you next time here in the Junkyard.